Hey friends, welcome back to my channel Digital Bytes. I hope you're doing well and staying safe and healthy during these times. If you're in the US, this is Thanksgiving week. It's time to be grateful and reconnect with family. And I hope you do that safely and responsibly. I'm Amit, a digital strategist and a Sloan Fellow at Stanford University here in California. In my prior life, I've been a management consultant and a digital entrepreneur. For people who know me well, know that I'm obsessed with using data and technology to improve human performance and wellness. While at Stanford, I experimented with some of the leading technologies and spoke with top experts on what kind of digital tools we can use to create a healthy and balanced life. Today I'm going to talk about one such tool called the Amazon Halo and assess its halo effect on the entire healthcare industry. Currently in beta testing and available for early access only, I was lucky to get my hands on it and I want to share everything I've learned about it with you guys. Here's how the video is structured. You can see the timestamp on the right side and in the description below, such that if you're in a hurry, you can jump to what interests you the most. Let's go. Here's what we're going to cover in the video. We're going to start with the summary, the 3 key takeaways. Then I'm going to cover the backdrop. Why is Amazon interested in this and why is it really launching this product? Number 3, I'm going to talk about what is Halo and why should you care. Fourth, we're going to talk about the halo effect that this device and Amazon's effort can have on the entire healthcare industry. Number 5, and the most important question that you're probably thinking about, should you buy this device? I'll give you both pros and cons of the device and leave the final judgment to you. And finally, 6, I'll make some predictions not only about this device, but also what kind of impact will it have on the future of the healthcare industry. Let's start with a summary. The healthcare industry in the US alone is worth $3 trillion. And wearables is a subset of that industry with about $50 billion in market size. It is also one of the fastest growing categories. Tracking your data and personalizing your health is going to become a norm over the next 10 years. Just like advertisement is personalized today based on your Facebook feed or your Instagram activities, your medicine and nutrition is going to be personalized based on your health data. And devices like Amazon Halo are going to play a pivotal role in collecting that data. So if you don't own a wearable just yet, it's probably a good idea to get one. If you look at devices like Apple Watch, it already has a tremendous impact on people's health. If you've got a lower budget, Amazon Halo is a really good device and gives you a really good bang for your buck with the kind of features it offers at the price it currently is. Okay, next, let's understand the backdrop. Why is Amazon interested in healthcare? If we know anything about Amazon, we know that it can offer great consumer experience at lower prices at massive scale. And if you put that equation together, it sounds like the healthcare industry is a perfect industry to be disrupted by Amazon. Why? Because the costs of healthcare in the US have gone up dramatically over the last decade, while the customer experience has suffered. It's an industry which probably has one of the lowest net promoter score in the country. So what has Amazon done about it? Amazon's joined hands with Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan Chase, where it's planning to build a new healthcare system for the employees of these 3 companies. And I believe the Amazon Halo will play an important role in that system. So now that we know that Amazon Halo is part of a master plan, let's understand what does it really do and why should you care about it. A simple way to understand Amazon Halo is to think about it like a Fitbit plus a few new capabilities such as calculating body composition and assessing your tone. More on that later. Okay, let's dive into it. In order to understand this Amazon Halo, I'm going to break it into 3 sections. Number 1, design. Number 2, capabilities. And number 3, the impact. Let's start with the design. What jumps out to me the most when I look at the design of this product is that it does not have a screen. And that's done with a purpose. The purpose is that this device should not distract you. Unlike smartwatches, which have notifications, messages, etc., this device is supposed to work in the background, so you don't even notice it. Now, let's look at the band. The band is pretty similar, I would say, to the Apple sports watch brand. Maybe not as good a quality, slightly thinner or slightly less wide, I would say. From a design perspective, I really didn't appreciate that it was kind of very difficult to put it on. If you see now, I'm really struggling. Every time I charge this, I struggle to put this on. So somebody needs to do a better job at designing this band. But once you have it, it's really light. You don't notice it. When you sleep with it, it's not that bad. It's pretty comfortable. So from a design perspective, I would say it's a pretty minimal design, but not very functional when you put it on, and you kind of struggle with it. And I think somebody really needs to improve. And I'm hoping that in the next version, they will come out with a better band. Next, let's look at the sensors. So there's clearly a couple of sensors here that detect your heart rate and detect motion and the kind of activity that you'd be indulging in. But I guess the most interesting thing is a new sensor that they have that listens to your voice and is backed by a natural language processing engine, which then interprets what you're saying and then figures out what kind of tone that you're using. More on that later, I will share with you. But overall, I would say about a 6 to 7 on design. I would think there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think considering it's first generation, it works pretty well. And then finally, let's look at the charger. I mean, there's nothing to write home about it. It's pretty simple. It fits. You gotta put this in, and once you plug it on, there is a light that indicates that it's charging, and it's red when it's charging and it becomes green. So pretty standard stuff. So just for context, if you look at, here's the Apple Watch, which has a screen, and here's the Amazon Halo, which does not have a screen. Both serve different functions. They have some things in common, but I would say if you really want advanced health functionalities, Amazon Halo has a couple of new things, like the body composition, for which you need advanced measuring scales. But this technology does a pretty good job of measuring the body fat percentage and then tracking it for you as you get closer to your health goals. From a capabilities perspective, the magic really lies in the app, and it does 3 things: tracks, analyzes, and recommends. So let's talk about tracking. So from a tracking perspective, like the other devices in the market, it tracks your sleep, heart rate, and activity. What's new with this device in terms of tracking is the body composition as well as the tone tracking. Okay, since the first 3 are pretty common, I'm going to focus on the tone tracking and the body composition. So tone tracking is what I found extremely fascinating. Obviously, you have to be someone who's not worried about your privacy because it's listening to you all the time. And what it does is everything that you say goes through an algorithm which determines how do you sound, whether it's talking to your wife or a server when you're at a restaurant, which is probably not happening these days. But anytime you're communicating with people, it will tell you whether you sound assertive or friendly or angry. So if you're really wondering how do you sound throughout your day with different kinds of people, this will give you some interesting feedback. There is one drawback, however. If you turn on the tone assessment, then it dramatically reduces the life of your battery. And that's something that I found pretty annoying. I end up charging this device on a daily basis because with the tone recognition on, it drains the battery very quickly. So if you don't want that, then turn it off. There is an option to do so, and you will have about 3 to 4 days of battery life. Unlike Alexa, it's constantly listening. There is no wake word for it. And I know that can sound really spooky, that someone's constantly listening to you. And that can raise some concerns about your privacy. However, There is a feature in the app that allows you to control this data and delete it forever if that's what you prefer. Okay, next, let's talk about analysis. And this is where some of the sexy algorithms come in. You know, we talk about tone assessment that uses NLP, which is natural language processing. We talk about body composition, which uses computer vision to assess what percentage of fat does your body have. Here are some other interesting algorithms that are assessing or converting your heart rate into the type of sleep you are having at night. For example, based on your heart rate at night, it can tell you what percentage of your time are you spending in your deep sleep, a stage of sleep that is critical for recovery and memory restoration. And third, and finally, the recommendations it makes. I think this is where Amazon's Halo as an app is quite different than a lot of the other apps that I've experienced, whether it's Fitbit and any other wearable devices out there in the market. And what's really different is it's got this component called the labs, and labs is where they make recommendations. For example, if they see that your heart rate is elevated, they may recommend you to do some meditation through a collaboration that they have with Headspace, which will say, here's a 10-minute meditation you can do that can allow you to reduce your heart rate. So I think this is where a lot of the interesting integration with the healthcare system is going to come in the future, where based on all the vitals that they're collecting from this device, they're going to make recommendations which will be personalized and specific for your need. And I think that's the most exciting part about integrating technology in the current healthcare system. Okay, now the all-important question. What's the impact of such a device? Theoretically speaking, it can help you improve your sleep, it can nudge you to be more active, it can help you improve your communication by improving your tone when you're communicating with others, and in general, maintain a healthy lifestyle, including losing weight. So overall, if you look at this device, it's selling for about $70, which is significantly cheaper than some of the other devices out there in the market, including Fitbit, and really gives you a good bang for your buck. Now, this is an introductory price. It is likely to go up to $100, but even at $100, I think it's a pretty good value for money. However, there's another catch. There is a monthly membership fee, which is a subscription fee, which Amazon's not charging right now for the first 6 months, but some of the information out there suggests that it'll be $3.99 a month. So that's an additional fee that you need to worry about. But I suspect, given the value that this device delivers, you wouldn't mind paying the $4 a month. All right, next, let's talk about its impact, or as I said, the halo effect on the overall healthcare industry. Now, there's already some examples that are suggesting where this device is going to take the healthcare industry. Okay, so what do we know already? We know that insurance companies and electronic health record companies are already partnering with Amazon to collect this data from users. In fact, some insurance companies are offering this device for free in exchange for your data. And why so? Because it makes a lot of sense. If they can track that you're living a healthy lifestyle, you're sleeping well, they can offer you lower premiums because they know you're going to cost a lot less in terms of medical expenses in the future. And if you're a hospital, now this device allows you to do remote patient care and monitoring. For example, it can track both your physical and mental health. Halo tracks exercise, medicine schedules, and sleep patterns to give the clinicians an insight into the daily routines of the patients. The tone function enables mental health monitoring by analyzing a user's voice during stressful times. This analysis can give doctors an insight into a person's emotions on a daily basis. So it's conceivable in the future that if you wear a Halo device and you're an Amazon Prime member, not only will you get personalized recommendation on how to live a daily healthy lifestyle, but also have a much lower healthcare cost. And who knows, Alexa might be able to detect that you're sick and offer to deliver cold medicine in next 2 hours. Let's come to the all-important question. Should you buy this device? Like most things in life, it depends. I'll make an argument for and against, and then you can decide what resonates most with you. The question you need to ask yourself is, do you need a device to help you form better habits, and become more healthy? If yes, then Amazon Halo is a pretty decent choice to consider. And here's why. It not only has some of the basic capabilities that most wearables have, but also has these new capabilities like tone detection and body composition. So if you really want to lose weight, or if you're looking at feedback on how you communicate with others, this could be an interesting choice. Number 2, competitive pricing. At $70 right now, it's a pretty good deal. And even at $100, it's competitively priced against some of the leading wearables in the market. Number 3, and finally, it will provide you some useful insight into some of your habits that could impact your health in the long run. And the lab feature will make some interesting recommendations which could help you develop healthy habits in the future. Now let's see what are the reasons for not buying this, because I'm sure there are a lot of skeptics out there, and for good reasons. Number 1, and the most important concern, is your privacy. If it's listening to you all day long or tracking such personal, sensitive health data, can you trust Amazon, or for that matter, any technology company? And that's a question only you can answer. You have to decide where will you draw the line. But most importantly, what I felt great about this app and device was that it empowers you to make that decision. You can choose to delete all your health data, you can choose to download it and keep it offline. So I felt that as a user, I was empowered to take control of your data. And if that's enough for you, then this may not be a big concern. Second issue, questionable accuracy. There's a lot of research out there that suggests that these wearables and trackers don't do a good job of tracking, which means the sleep recommendations or the insights or the heart rate is not really accurate. Some of the devices are FDA approved, so they're more credible, but Amazon Halo yet is not FDA approved. So you have to take these recommendations and insights with a grain of salt and ask yourself, are you willing to trust them just yet? Because there are some people out there who don't believe that these are accurate. And finally, there's a risk. If the insurance company now knows what kind of lifestyle you live, whether you exercise or not, what's your body composition, is there a risk of an insurance premium shock? If you're not one of those people who's extremely healthy, then having this data tracked by insurance company is not really a good idea, because that could translate into a much higher premium. I'm also assuming that if you're not really into health, then you're not going to buy this device. But having the insurance company get access to your health data carries some risk, and that's something you need to be mindful of. And if you're still here, then I imagine you are a fitness nerd and are looking to take greater control of your health by using technology. And if that's the case, let me leave you with some predictions. In the next 3 to 5 years, Amazon's going to play a key role in the healthcare industry. And Amazon Halo, its device to track data, is going to become an important part of its overall strategy. And this device will be tightly integrated with the Amazon ecosystem. Now imagine, one day you wake up and your device knows that you haven't had good sleep. Alexa can notify you and say, it's probably not a good idea to do that HIIT workout that you do every day because your body hasn't recovered fully. And if it detects this pattern on an ongoing basis, it can make you some recommendations around products that can help you sleep better, whether it's melatonin supplement or a different pillow that you can use to improve your sleep quality. The bottom line is that it will understand you a lot better and will make deeper, more personalized recommendations. Does that sound scary? Probably, but so would it having your entire life on Facebook or Instagram just 10 years ago. And now it sounds normal. Whether we like it or not, this change is coming. Whether it's devices, sensors, or applications, there's going to be a lot more data that will be tracked in the future. And as long as that data is kept private and is only used for the purpose of helping you or designing personalized solutions for you, in my book, it's fair game. But that choice is yours and only yours to make. In the end, I'd love to invite you to share your thoughts with me and join the conversation. This is something we all need to figure out collectively, and I'd love to hear how are you thinking about using technology and improving your health. You can either comment below or drop me an email at amit@stanford.edu. The information is also mentioned in the description below. If you think this information was useful, please like and subscribe to this channel for weekly updates on how technology is shaping our future. My Amazon halo is telling me that it's time to hit the bed. So signing off, until next time. Thank you.